Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another Real Estate Uncensored Marketing Roundtable. Did I sound like Greg? Is that what he says?
Kind of, yeah. Actually, that was pretty good.
I'm trying to get it as close as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, we're Gregless again here today. However, we love him. He's moving into his mansion, ladies and gentlemen. That's what he's doing.
Real estate transactions.
Look at the pictures.
Yeah, he's selling his house. You know,
he's doing the real estate thing, guys, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we've got a action-packed real estate marketing roundtable today. We're going to go ahead and talk about if you have a lazy budget, a short budget, or a small budget, what do you even do? How do you even perform in this world?
I don't know.
Nick, take it away for us.
I feel like there's a lot of discrimination in that headline, though. We might get shut down after this show. But no, I think it's interesting because a lot of, I would say since 2017, the amount of agents that I talk to when I ask them what their marketing budget is, they say $500. So from a broad perspective, everybody's always trying to squeeze the juice on $500. So I was thinking about for this show, we can just kind of spitball and give a couple of pros and cons and or best practices for really utilizing that $500 as best as you can, right?
All right, there it is. If you have $500, what do you do with it? We're going to count this show down, and we'll see you on the other side. Dino, if you just have $500, shouldn't you go get more $500?
That's easier said than done in a lot of cases. I'm thinking $500. You know, kind of wine I could get with that.
Yeah, heyo, or cigars.
Or you took the words out of my mouth.
Yeah,
cigars, booze, and gas. Go door knocking. Is that what Gene says?
Would I pay $500 to be Gregless every week?
Oh,
jeez. No, that's
below the belt.
And you're right. I was just teasing. I would never pay to be Gregless.
Right on. Gene, how you doing today? Break it down for us. What are your thoughts here on what do you do if you have a short budget, lazy budget, or small budget?
Well, so I'm doing good, Sarge. Thanks for asking. You guys both look well, as per usual. I am. This is going to be something that I think is going to evolve, right? So we just got on. We did pre-show real quick. The topic came up. So I'm thinking about it, right? First thing that comes to mind, Mr. Sakis, is this. I think that a lot of times people that give you a number like that are fearful of losing that. So It's not like, so in my experience, right, when somebody, this is going to come off the wrong way.
Say it. Just say it.
Yeah, I don't mean this to be like $500 marketing budget. I think is decent. That's you can get a lot of leg with that, a lot of good stuff with that. A lot of leads. There's a lot of things you can do with $500 a month. But I think when people come at me with a number like that, they're tied up. Like if I said to you, Nick, $500 a month, but what if I told you 10 grand a month would get you $100,000 in revenue? Would you think about figuring out how to get that budget?
Right.
Like $500 a month to me is a scarcity mentality where people are going, oh man, how much can I afford to really lose where I can still pay my rent? And I don't mean that in a condescending way. I really don't.
No.
But what I do say to people a lot is this. First of all, you got to have control of your budget and your finances. So you really know what your buffer looks like, right? So, and I don't know, I think in my world, a 15 to 20% of your revenue is a decent marketing strategy. So if you make 100 grand in a year, you should have $10,000 to $15,000 or $1,000 to $1,200 a month in marketing budget, right? They're just simple figures, right? But I love the people that go like this. Listen, I don't care how much money I have to spend if it works, right? So in my head, I always say this. When I talk to clients, I go, look, there's a lot of testing that has to happen when we start these campaigns. There's a lot of things that happen, and Nick, you know this. You taught me a lot of this. It's like throw it up and then refine it. Refine. Well, you can't refine overnight, right? There's a lot of things that take a little bit of time. Sometimes you hit gold. Sometimes you strike it rich immediately. Sometimes you get a lead on the hook that pays for your whole year of marketing without even trying. That's not typically the way that it goes. The way that it typically goes is that there's a lot of trial and error. I mean, we go through this a lot, right? $500 a month doesn't pay me to manage it, let alone your ad spend. So when you have somebody that knows what they're doing in the marketing space, you got to allocate some of those funds to having somebody execute as well as a budget for the spend itself, right? So from a scarcity mentality, I would say this to you. Come up with a number. And this is really what I say, because I like gambling. I'm a gambler. I love sports. I love poker, cards, the casinos, right? I never go in the casino with more money than if I went home, I'd be sick to my stomach and not be able to sleep for 3 nights. I go in there with a number that I go, I guess, I'm just burning it, right? Like a cigar. I smoke cigars. I smoked one a little earlier. It was a $12 cigar. I'm literally burning paper. I can do that. I've purchased cigars from Emerald's place in Las Vegas a couple years back for my father-in-law, my wife's uncle, and me for Father's Day. They were $110 a stick. You're burning paper. You have got to be okay. In my head, I go like this: for your first 3 months of this, make sure that when you give me that number, after you look at your finances, make sure that you go like this: Volpe's going to light this money on fire, and I'm okay with it, right? Because what's going to happen is, as we zero in and niche down and hit our stride, that's when the leads will start coming. But you can't expect to spend $500 in months 1 and 2 and have a $10,000 commission come in. You can't. It can happen. You just can't expect it. So Step 1 is understand that this is a process. It's going to take a little bit of time. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes that most people that aren't in marketing don't understand and don't see, right? So there's going to be a lot of spend on that setup. We got to get you to a place where we're comfortable with our target audience. We're going to burn a little bit of money in the beginning, and then we turn it up, right? So Nick, you've seen this. $1,000 in ad spend, and they go, I just got 33 good leads. Okay, 2,000 then should get you 66. Let's roll this, right? So just a couple points before we jump into this is I feel like first you got to be comfortable with that. If you go to bed at night going, I don't know what I just did with that $500. I'm nervous. I'm scared. I got to pay my taxes. I don't know, blah, 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 blah. Then you need to scale that back. And there's no shame in that game. You got to pull it back. But if you're saying to me, I want something to work. Well, all right, that's cool. Let's start a little bit slower. Let's get you something that's palatable for you to test for the first 60 days, 45 days, 90 days. And then let's really hone in and watch what the analytics are saying. And then scale up, scale down, fix, change, edit, delete, whatever it ends up in. But I think before we really get into what we can do with the $500, I wanted to really set the stage and lay the foundation for where we're going to go with this.
You laid that pipe well, my friend.
Oh, hey, take it easy, Mr. Sack. My goodness.
Get on this topic, Nick. What say you?
I agree with everything Gene said. And whenever I do talk to somebody, we talk about a marketing budget, that $500, it's not necessarily $500 for the month. It's what's your marketing budget for 12 months, and let's divide. Right. So if somebody comes and says, I only have $500, but I really only have $1,500, and this needs to work in 3 months, or I can't pay my, electric bill or whatever. I don't necessarily want to get into marketing. We need to dive deeper into their business and figure out what they can do from an organic standpoint, from a just blood, sweat, and tears standpoint, to get them some revenue in their business. Right. So, I want to come at this from a perspective, like obviously we're at the marketing roundtable, but are you better off if you say have $500 instead of thinking about marketing? Should you think more about leverage, right? And what I mean by that is, are you using transaction coordinators in your business? Are you using showing assistants if you're a buyer's agent, maybe paying somebody per door so you can handle more buyers at one time, or more buyer consultations, right? There's certain things that you can do for leveraging your time. And as long as you're spending that time doing dollar income producing activities, you're going to be much better off than just saying, hey, let me turn on some Facebook ads because I've heard that's the thing, or some TikTok ads or whatever for $500. And then you don't follow up with the leads. And then, like Gene said, you're just burning a stick that, costs $500. So, there's a lot to unpack.
I have this conversation quite a bit with real estate professionals, right? And we at Clever Leads are a home service based business type company, right? So
yeah, it's not just real estate agents, right?
Yeah,
it's any small business.
Yeah, if you need to get to the homeowner, do it. So, but I'm always briefing folks when we come into an advertising meeting at Clever Leads, especially as it pertains to geofencing. So they always say, oh my gosh, what is this geofencing? I need that. I need that. And it has extreme utility if done right. So I love to use geofencing for farming. And we put hundreds of thousands of impressions into a farm versus the competition. But this is what I tell everybody. We have to take a look at the economic layout of the farm, the potential return on investment. So I always have folks go back, go to their title company, go to a few different resources and find out how many homes on average turn over inside of that farm territory year over year. So they're going back looking at last 12 months, 24, 48, and I'm pushing people to go ahead and do this. And they'll come back to me and they'll say, Sarge, looks like maybe right around 40 or 45 homes typically turn over out of that group of homes every single year. So then the next question is, all right, how much are the homes valued at? Oh, they're all in the $400,000 to $500,000 range. Great. What is your potential commission on one of those homes? So now all of a sudden we're actually looking at doing business economics and math. Then I say, okay, a budget to go ahead and target all of the smart devices underneath the roof of those homes. We shouldn't go less than $1 per door, and you don't need to necessarily go more than $2 per door in a monthly spend. So if you're looking at a 500 group of homes right out of the gate, and you're rocking a $2 a door budget, that's $1,000 a month that you're wanting to spend to communicate directly to that audience. Now you're putting 4 impressions per device per day underneath all of those roofs when your competition is not. So now you are the most seen real estate professional. So now it's about, what are you saying to these folks? What kind of information are you giving to them? You know, how are you communicating to these people? And you're going to get yourself into a position to receive more so than your competition, but you have to come at thinking about an advertising budget with these types of thoughts in mind. So if I'm going to spend $12,000 a year to just talk to those homeowners in those 500 homes, how many homes do I have to get in front of over a period of 12 months in order for me to go ahead and recoup my money and then go green in my advertising budget?
That's the key to this whole thing, right? The starting and stopping kills everybody. It's not just marketing, it's everything in your business, right? And the reason why I said 12 months and Jake says 12 months and Gene will say the same thing. How do you recoup that and or go ROI positive 2, 5, 10x in 12 months? But what oftentimes happens is we say, all right, we got $500 to spend. I need to be ROI positive in the next 30 days, right? That is such a unicorn, one guy on a podcast, one time, one market, very rare situation. Does it happen? Sure. Right. But that's not the averages, right? The law of averages that you need to think about when you're talking about your business. So, sticking to one thing, I actually just did a post and we talk about this a lot during my health journey. The correlation between your business and or your personal life, you grow to the extent, in business as you do personally. The weight loss journey was a year-long journey and I'm still into it. Right. Most people think there's a secret pill. Most people think I can go on this specific diet, eliminate these specific foods, take this secret pill, drink this secret juice, and all this weight's going to fall off me. I did a post yesterday because I had a friend of mine actually send me a message and he said, hey man, I need to lose 100 pounds. How long would that take me? And I said, well, how much do you weigh currently? He said 300 pounds. I said, okay, cool. Let's look at the math. 3,500 calories is 1 pound, right? So if you want to lose 100 pounds, that's 3,500 times 100, that's 350,000 calories. You have to be in a deficit in order to lose 100 pounds. If you divide that by a 500 calorie a day deficit, which is a moderate deficit, that would be 700 days of consistency in your diet to lose 100 pounds, right? So when it comes to marketing, the reason I'm saying that is because it's the same kind of thing. Like, I want to sell 100 homes. Okay, cool. Let's do the backwards math. How many leads you need to talk to? How many people you need to follow up with? What's your pipeline look like? Like, what is that process? It's the same thing. It's not just, let me call Gene and flip this thing on, or let me call Jake and flip this thing on, and next month it's going to happen. It's a process.
So here's a question from the audience, right? Is it better to go with all of the free sources of marketing and lead generation, or better to invest every dollar into marketing or work on building it to the max instead. Great question. So my take on this is, yes, absolutely exploit every single free opportunity and set all of those things into motion. Take action with low dollar or / free opportunities, right? Because it's building your brand. It's getting more of you out there. And if you're in more places and you have more of this opportunity, great. When you get into a paid advertising world, now it's about sprinkling that, putting a little bit of fire into your brand, meaning you're exposing it more to more folks. A lot of the free places only give you so much reach over time. There are new social platforms like TikTok that they're trying to go ahead and open up their algorithm and really give you some maximum exposure, which you should exploit that right now. It's got good leverage inside of there. We're actually going to have a realtor joining Real Estate America's News, for those of you guys that follow us, who has 3.5 million likes on her TikTok stock, over 286,000 followers on TikTok. That's big leverage, right? So we're going to go ahead and teach people how to do that. But yes, exploit free first, because it's actually a brand build play and it gets more of you out there into the world.
Let me add on that, if you don't mind.
Sure.
I'm with you on that. If it's free, it's for Gene, right? I love that stuff. But also what I might think about doing is I may take a portion of the advertising spend and hire somebody to handle those free resources. So maybe you hire somebody, a digital assistant, to help chop up your videos to be pushed out onto TikTok and Facebook and Insta and convert them from your 16:9 to your 9:16, or your, you know what I mean? Like, I might think about adding in a 10-hour, and you don't have to go for broke. Maybe it's 10 hours a week, 5 hours a week to start at $10 an hour, $5 an hour, depending on where you pull the VAs from, and train somebody up to take advantage of those free resources for you so that you can still do what you do, right? Like, you still want to be outdoor knocking. You still want to be out cold calling. You want to be in the office. You want to be talking to people. You want to be at closings. You want to be hustling around doing stuff, but you want that on autopilot behind you. So maybe think about taking a little bit of that budget and throwing it towards some resources to give you a hand in there.
Gene, Nick, my advice to all of the folks that come through my door is, where is our starting point? What do you have right now that we can go ahead and use? And if it's small, it's okay. Our goal is to go ahead and have our marketing initiatives self-liquidate so that we can go ahead and actually put more fuel into the fire, right? More exposure, more opportunity, more. And if you look at any of the successful real estate teams, brokers, individual agents, they are putting more and more and more and more in, ladies and gentlemen. And it's just like this in business in many different industries. He or she that goes ahead and outspends the competitor has more awareness, which typically equals more revenue for your personal company, right? So you have to keep going. So this is a starting point and a keep going. And a lot of you folks just don't understand what is available to you, right? Like, I love leveraging OTT advertising. OTT stands for over the top television. It's through all of the smart TVs that are out there right now, where if somebody's watching HGTV on their Roku TV or REUNation or any, we have the opportunity to go ahead and serve 15 or 30-second commercials onto those TVs. So when it comes to farming, right? Like Nick, I love farming because the economics that I just laid out prior to, I know I'm targeting that neighborhood, and I know I want to be in front of those people so that they know to call me first. Okay, so I can actually serve 30-second commercials onto their televisions utilizing the same technology. And if I had a $500 budget, that's putting out 10,000 commercials in a 30-day run into an audience that I mentally have already got my economics in my brain, right? I've got it wrapped around there. So I can just do that, right? So there's a lot of edge case strategies on things to do that are smart, even with a short budget right now. And most people just don't understand what's available to them.
Yep. How about leverage? Let's talk leverage for a second. There was something that we were going to talk about before that I wanted to
transaction coordination is the first one. That's easy, right?
Well, here's what I'm thinking about from a monetary perspective. So in the real estate space, it's not you see often where agents will get into 50-50 splits with title companies and mortgage companies, right? So who do you have in your back pocket that you can work with to either cut your spend in half or double your spend, depending on how you handle it, right? So, Zillow advertising, right? You want to go advertise on Zillow and get one of the top 3 spots, and you only have $500 and it's going to cost you $950. Go out and make a partnership with a mortgage company, right? I know that there's people out there that'll do it, a title company, insurance company. You follow your rules, follow your real estate rules in your state and nationally, but you could double your ad spend by just partnering with somebody.
Nick, you're actually advertising with Freedom Move USA. You're the marketing manager over there. That's a powerful, unique selling proposition, and we see it and hear it all the time. People don't even have to go ahead and advertise because it's such a powerful, unique selling proposition. We tell everybody, don't get over your handlebars. Just pick up your phone and call every single person and let them know that if they're planning on ever moving, come check with you first, right? You can save a tremendous amount of money. Break down some of the leverage of USP, because even with a short budget now, having something strong like that gives you huge leverage into the marketplace.
There's really only 2 things here, right? We talk about unique selling proposition quite frequently on this show, but if you're new, if you've never heard, a unique selling proposition is it's your product, it's your service packaged as a product. Okay, so the number one thing that I see, like when somebody comes to me, or I'm in a group or Facebook group or whatever, or somebody who's done marketing in the past and they come in there like, marketing just doesn't work, Facebook ads don't work, YouTube ads don't work, whatever. What we're offering inside an advertisement is basically your unique selling proposition, right? Look at your own behavior online. When you click on somebody's ad, the ad should speak to you and solve a problem that you have as the consumer. A lot of times what we're doing as real estate agents is we're just showcasing what we do, and we're not solving any problems for the consumer to give them a reason to actually click on the ad and pick up the phone and call you and or answer your call when you call them. And it's probably one of the biggest problems in the industry from a marketing perspective, from a paid advertisement perspective, is there's just ads out there that don't make any sense at all. You got to put yourself in the consumer spot. So a really good team in your area, I promise you, every team in every market in the country, they have a dialed in unique selling proposition. Used to be like, sell your house in 30 days or less guaranteed. Now it's, if you sell with us, you buy for free, or buy with us, you sell for free. You have all the unique selling propositions from like the offer pads of the world, the open doors where, flat fee, all that stuff. Instant cash offer is kind of the new one. What we're doing with Freedom Move USA is a little bit different, right? We've created a partnership with a logistics company to where we can actually get you freight rate on your move instead of retail rates. So it is something very unique to us that we're doing for our agents in the marketplace. It gives you the opportunity to say, if you were to spend $500 on ads, you're going to pique somebody's interest because you can save them $20,000 on a move from Virginia to Tampa or whatever, right? So it's really, really crucial when you're reaching out to people, when you're talking to your sphere of influence, you're not just talking to them and saying, how are the kids and what's going on? You got to have a unique selling proposition in your back pocket so that at the end of the day, they're not going to talk to you unless you do. How do you have them benefit from your relationship? We got to take ourselves out of marketing. It's a real issue, right? Take yourself out of marketing. How are you solving a problem for the consumer in whatever industry you're in? And that's the way that you get magnetic marketing. When people start coming to you, when they start calling you, it's because you're solving a real problem that they have. And they're recognizing you as that solution. It has nothing to do with how many houses you've sold. It has nothing to do with what kind of car you drive, any of that stuff. It's solving problems.
It's that personal and financial convenience, right? So if it means something to the folks, it makes the mark. Absolutely.
So right now, the 2 biggest things, honestly, personal brand and unique selling proposition should be the only things you're focusing on as far as marketing. And when I say personal brand, I mean video marketing like we're doing right now. People that listen to the show for a long time, they know each and every one of us because we're on here every week in our non-infinite lives, as Jake likes to say. educating you guys, right? So you as a personal brand, everybody's got a story. You know, the TikToks, the IG reels, all these types of platforms now give you the opportunity to really create your personal brand and tell your story so that people can resonate with you. But that's not enough, right? You can have 100,000 followers on these platforms. That doesn't put money into your bank account. You still have to have a unique selling proposition, because you have those 100,000 followers and they might watch you and it might be cool and you might be entertaining and they might get along with you. But what's the next level, right? That's all top of funnel stuff. How do you get them inside your world to actually pull out their pocket, their wallet out of their pocket and pay you? It's, you have to solve a problem, and you need to package up. You need to look at your real estate business as a product. What is your product?
So Nick, I had a 87% conversion rate on a postcard test run here about a week and a half ago. 87%.
That kind of sounds like when we first started doing messenger blast marketing with ManyChat, right? The open rate on those.
Well, there I was watching the Super Bowl, texting Gene back and forth, right? And I see this commercial with this QR code just kind of floating around. And it's just like, oh, look, it's like the old Windows, you know, back in the 90s. It's just doing this little thing around it's dancing. I'm like, oh, shit, I got to find out what's behind that thing. I ran up and snapped the picture, right? And I'm going, brilliant. I love it. So we incorporated this into all of our Freedom Move USA and Clever Leads movement, things like that. A simple postcard that said, never, ever, ever sell your home without looking at this, to a QR code.
QR codes have made a comeback.
Yeah.
Big time comeback.
Yeah. So what's nice is everybody was like, all right, what the hell is behind that QR code? And I should never sell my house without looking at this. All right. So now it comes into the digital space. And since we're talking about paid advertising, this is the element. Once you guys understand what's available to you, right? So I send postcards out. I want to take those people from the relationship at the mailbox to an online relationship. They snap this, they hit one of my landing pages with a nice video that says, if you're planning on selling or buying or know somebody that is, please send them to freedommoveusa.com, where they can go ahead and find our certified agent that can help you save $10,000 to $25,000 on your next move. Unless you want to pay it, it's completely up to you. Almost as a positive word of caution. The call center, the phones were ringing. What's this thing? What's this thing? So I know it works extremely well, but that's the power of unique selling proposition. It's the power of understanding marketing. So you could take some marketing dollars and actually deploy something like that, even with a postcard run, since we already know that there's conversion there, strong, unique selling propositions. However,
and by the way, so you go ahead and I'm sorry.
Yeah. But now once they get onto that digital space, and if you guys have been listening to us at the Marketing Roundtable, we've talked about marketing, remarketing, retargeting. Okay, so it's been one of the most missed marketing pillars in many different industries for many years, where you can get those people onto your digital footprint, but now they can go ahead and get wrapped and trapped into your retargeting scripts and pixels and things like that, to where now all of a sudden you can put out more advertising to those folks that you've already gotten them to convert over. So think about the farming, right? So we have on these landing pages OTT commercial retargeting scripts. So those people can actually take their cell phone, click the QR code, hit my landing page, and now, unbeknownst to them, a 30-second commercial is on their television when they're watching it, saying hello about your brand. Very powerful stuff. It gives you guys an opportunity of true leverage, and you just have to understand that this is available to you. And that's what we do. We specialize in creating these strategies so that you can become effective. And once you start, don't stop. Stay consistent with it, and keep adding more money to the fire. So 87% conversion rate, Gino. We are going hot with the QR codes.
That's pretty good, brother. Couple things. If you're watching this video, have you noticed that it looks like I have a hat on?
Yeah, it does.
It's kind of funny, right? I just noticed that. Also, I want to go back to something that Nick was saying before. If you're still of the mindset that Facebook and Google and TikTok ads don't work, you're doing it wrong. Facebook reported revenue of 118 million in 2021, up from 118 billion in revenue in 2021, up from 85 billion in 2020. The majority of their stuff comes from advertising. So either everybody in the world is wrong and it doesn't work, or there's something to it. So get out of your own way. You ever hear the old adage, money's the root of all evil? That's said by people that don't have any, right?
Yeah.
So it's like one of these things where it's like, if you're sitting around still in 2022 saying Facebook advertising doesn't work, it's stupid. You're hooking up with the wrong people. So let's just dispel that myth right off the bat.
So Nick, I tell everybody all the time, I don't want you guys to spend more money than you have to. That's not the goal here, right? It's like, use all of the technology. Let's load every single confirmed homeowner from your zip code that has a cell phone number not on the do not call list, and then send them that message that I already pre-built for you. See what happens, right? Send them a nice text message. Say hello, introduce yourself, start the relationship. Email. You guys know I love email, right? So it's about consistently building this content and getting it out there. But having clickable links inside of those emails that drop people back to your digital footprints that then you can deploy some of these paid advertising pieces to. It's all a process of building business, right? And it works extremely well. Most real estate agents have a tough time putting all of these pieces together, and that's where we come in and help. But I'm here to tell you that we are deploying the exact same strategies and initiatives for other home service related businesses that are absolutely crushing it. So we're actually the preferred partner for dealers all across the United States of America for like RoofMax type products. So, which is fantastic, right? So they have a different initiative, but they still need to talk to the homeowners to go ahead and tell them about their product and service just the same way that you guys do. And it just works like that, Nick. And ladies and gentlemen that are listening here, these two gentlemen are no joke in the real estate marketing business. Mr. Nick has over $5 million of advertising underneath his belt and is a preferred partner with Facebook. So we've been around the game. It's happened. So if you guys need some help with that, please do get in touch with Mr. Nick. But I think today's message really is not about, it's not about setting yourself mentally into a position of scarcity. It's about really educating you so that you understand how to use your money properly when you get into paid advertising. But the utility of this is extreme, right? You can do all of this free stuff and emails and text messages and postcards, but there is that level up that you have to put some money into, because you're just missing out. You're just, your process is broken if you don't. Just do a little bit, even if it's just a retargeting budget. Even if you just say, guys, I got $500. Okay, we're just going to set that into the retargeting. Where's your commercial? What are you saying to these people? Anybody that you guys drive to touch your digital footprint, now we'll deploy this to them. And that marketing budget is just gasoline. It's just fuel to get you from point A to point B. It's just to put more of that stuff on there. You guys got me on a topic that I really like talking about. I think I'm talking long. Nick.
So, well, I was gonna dig you out here with Facebook Marketplace. I think is probably still very much underutilized. If you don't have a budget, go into Facebook Marketplace and post every single day. Post listings, get permission from other agents, that have listings to post them in Facebook Marketplace, and you will capture all those leads through Messenger. Messenger is a preferred way of communication for a lot of people. If they have a Facebook account, they're probably preferred on Messenger, which is just as good as text, as we all know. But Facebook Marketplace as a whole, if you have a product in Facebook Marketplace, you're going to get 1,000 people. And so here's a funny thing. This happened a couple years ago. A friend of mine, it was his birthday, and he goes, a couple years ago. This is like 8 years ago, 9 years ago.
Time flies.
Yeah, it was a long time ago. We think like a year ago was pandemic, right? Or whatever. Like we missed 2020 and 2021. But anyway, so it was my friend's birthday. I was working at this company, and a guy in the office, we were all sales guys, right? A guy in the office, so the guy whose birthday was, he just bought a brand new pickup truck. It's like a brand new F-150. And so one of the guys in the office put his F-150 on Facebook Marketplace. It was a $45,000 truck. He put an ad on Facebook Marketplace and said, getting divorced, have to move, take $25,000. First $25,000 gets this truck. Brand new, 1,000 miles on it. The guy's phone was literally, and he put his real cell phone number. He must have had 1,000 people call him at his desk with, at the time the boss is behind him. So he's like, what's going on? I don't even understand. Like, all these people asking me about my truck. And of course, everybody in the office is laughing because we know what happened. But that's the kind. So that was an extremely good, unique selling proposition, right? That's something that captured somebody's attention. I'm in Facebook Marketplace. I'm looking for a truck. I found this excellent deal. And that's all this is, right? It's not necessarily like the unicorn $25,000 F-150 that doesn't exist, but how do you craft what you can put up as a service into this frenzy where people go, oh my God, I have to have that. I have to call this guy. That's what unique selling proposition is. As a seller, if I'm thinking about selling my home and somebody calls me up and says, I'll give you a cash offer right now, and you don't have to list it, you don't have to have an open house, like, that's the evolution of this stuff, right? It was a very good, unique selling proposition. So that was the first thing. Facebook Marketplace, get in there, get familiar. It's a free resource. You can make some money there. The next thing, go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go for it. I thought you were
I'll just say the next thing that I've done before, and I don't do this enough. It's probably part of my ADD, but I've recommended this to several customers, probably a dozen at this point, of the dry cleaner hack. Okay. And so
this is a good one.
When you think about
ladies and gentlemen, get your pencil out.
You think about local business owners who you want to have a relationship with, right? And so we've talked about going and shooting video at restaurants, top restaurants, like you get your face out there and you audience hack. So you give somebody a video and then they put on their feed and now you're being seen for free, right? If you look at a dry cleaner as a business, who goes to the dry cleaner, right? People that have higher income, who live in nicer areas, who are typically more in a more wealthy neighborhood. It's pretty much your ideal client as a listing agent. Okay. What if you went to a dry cleaner with a solution for them? Most of them don't even know what a CRM is. You could do something as simple as organize a database for them. You could do something as simple as offer to do advertising for them. The idea here is you print out door hangers like you would go walk a neighborhood with your unique selling proposition, and you give them 1,000 door hangers, and you partner up with that dry cleaner in some sort of mutual agreement, whether it's through video marketing, Facebook marketing. I've had people do all kinds of different things. And now every time they're handing out clothes to the consumer, your hanger is on those clothes as a preferred vendor to call with your unique selling proposition. Okay. Nobody's doing this. Nobody's doing this.
I was at my dry cleaner the other day and he said, Sarge, I'm low on hangers. Do you have any extra hangers you might be able to bring back for me? Honest answer.
That's part of like a marketing hack, right? You think about a customer. Where's your customer congregate? If you like to golf, you go hang out at the golf course and try to get listings there. It's like, it's all that kind of thinking in the background. But a dry cleaner, if you can have a good relationship with a dry cleaner that has a chain in your market, like, you could have an untapped amount of business.
Yeah. Gino, I think you're familiar with Mr. Randy Nemiroff. He's the founder of Perk Plans. I think Annie Mack is in Perk Plans, right? So, yep. Ladies and gentlemen, we love Perk Plans. It is the largest employee benefit portal in the United States of America, servicing companies as large as Lockheed Martin. So what happens here is a company like Lockheed loves all of these benefits inside of the Perk Plans, offers it to all of their employees where they can go ahead and save thousands of additional dollars on things that you guys normally purchase online. So there's discounts at Amazon if you click through there. If you go to chewy.com to go ahead and purchase things for your pets, discounts, 50% off car rentals, just amazing stuff. Flowers, gifts, travel, insurance. For real estate agents, there's a lot of like free continued education inside these things by participating with some of their programs. But we went ahead and partnered with Perk Plans, the Clever Leads company did, and we're building websites with these portals actually inside of it and then giving it to our real estate agents. So what happens? Now our agents are able to go to their community and say, hey, we are a partner and we've got our benefits portal. If you log in, you can save thousands of additional dollars. So these are cool things that we want to do, incorporate, that you guys can go ahead and get out to all of the folks in your local community and just help them save. So the thought process here is, if you're offering this and people are coming back to your portal and saving a lot of money throughout the year, there's a good chance that they're going to go ahead and think to use you as a real estate professional if they're in a position to purchase or sell a home or possible referral to. I know Annie Mac loves it. Annie Mac is a preferred partner inside there. And you guys have a program, Gene, called Cash 2 Keys, right? Tell everybody about that.
Well done, sir. Well done.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we talked about it on a couple episodes ago. It's just basically a mortgage company is putting you as a buyer in a position to be able to offer cash or be backed by a cash offer where you can waive contingencies and just make your offer look a little bit better to the seller. In this tough market, it's a really nice little tool to have in your tool belt. And if you're interested in it, reach out to me. But the one thing we're doing is when we go around and we tell people about it, that's what we're saying to our agents. Like, imagine if you were able to take this new unique selling proposition called Cash to Keys, and you were able to go to your database or your people that are following you online and say, hey, were you in the market and now you're not anymore because you're afraid that you're going to be able to find a house and you still have one to sell? Or are your offers getting rejected because they're all contingent upon a mortgage? We can fix that, right? So reach out to me and I will help walk you through the process with our mortgage provider and walk you through how this thing works. Let's get you back in the house buying game. And that's like another one of these things where it's like, okay, how do you offer cash if you don't have it? Well, you partner with us and we do it for you. So go ahead.
This really comes down to, ladies and gentlemen, you have to internalize and ask yourself, why in the hell should somebody go and do business with you? Just straight up. You guys all make these same purchasing decisions when you go to the grocery store. You're taking a look at this one product versus the other one. It's sitting right next to each other. You're evaluating on price. You're taking a look at some of the feng shui of the actual marketing. Does it resonate with you? Maybe there's a good customer service policy there. But a lot of your purchasing decisions come down to price and quality, right? On a product level side of the house. On a service side of the house, it's going to come down to financial and personal conveniences. Those are the top two hits. So what I love about unique selling propositions is not just, yes, you're offering a service of true value that helps hit those marks, but by putting that message out on the streets, you become referable. So all of the folks that you say, hey, just come check with me. If you're moving, I can help you save on moving costs. Or if you're possibly buying, it's extremely competitive out there right now. And you going into an offer against 30 other people without a strong position like this. And I love the Cash to Keys program so much because I'm a veteran. That program helps turn a veteran buyer into a Cash to Keys offer. Historically, we've had, you could go ahead and see a VA backed loan and go, oh, we know that this thing is going to go ahead and close. They're strong, right? It's a strong purchaser. They've got a VA loan, but that's not the case anymore. A lot of veterans are having the same type of issues as conventional buyers because they're competing against different institutions and stuff like that. So it just strengthens everything. So think about this. When we're talking marketing, guys, for you to go out to your database and say, I've got these programs. So if you, your friends or your family or anybody that you know are in a situation like this, have them come check with me. Let's see how I can go ahead and help them out so we can get them across the goal line, be competitive in an offer, and also save a bunch of money because you know that goes a long way right now, especially with inflation, all of the economic pressures. Diesel's $5.65 at the gas station. Unleaded's over $4 and fluctuating all over the place, and we're paying for it, right? So get competitive. Think about your unique selling propositions. I highly urge you to go hang out and talk to Gino about this. Those guys got it on lock. They really do.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Yep.
I gotta piggyback.
Do it.
So I want to talk about the elephant in the room and not just the fact that Greg McDaniel's not here still. But the fact that there is no such thing, okay, at a $500 a month ad spend. There is no such thing as a come list me opportunity or a buyer consultation that just shows up at your office. Okay. Fish are not going to just jump in your boat because you turned on Facebook ads for $500. Number one, if you don't answer your phone right now, don't bother spending any money on ads. Because if you don't answer your phone, you're not going to make any money and you're just lighting that money on fire. Number two, there's three parts. to an actual ad itself, right? So what is the ad? What's the unique selling proposition, right? Where are you taking them after the fact? What are they getting? Okay. And then what's the follow-up? What are they getting and what's the follow-up is 2/3 of this equation. So if you are constantly looking at podcasts like this or other Facebook groups or anything looking for that secret ad, it's the same thing as going at 3:00 in the morning and buy the secret diet pill that you think is going to help you melt 25 pounds off your body. It doesn't exist. It's a false sensation, whatever, right? You have to have something of value to give them for them to remember you, and or that could be your personal brand in the middle, and then the follow-up. And the problem with the follow-up is you cannot, I don't care who you're talking to, there's all kinds of things in the industry right now, artificial intelligent follow-up boss and AI assistants and all this crap, drip sequences. You cannot automate an appointment 95% of the time. Okay. Not to say that I haven't done sequences where I get people to the ledge, but most of the time, in order to get people to actually show up to an appointment from an online ad, you have to speak to them or have communication with them one-on-one for this type of scenario. So if you are searching for the secret ad for somebody to jump in your boat and say, come list my house, I'm sorry to tell you, it does not exist. Marketing is a plan as a whole. So figure out what your whole plan is, the ecosystem, what you're giving, how you're following up, because ads without follow-up, and I know you've heard this before, you might as well just buy fireworks and light your money on fire.
Or cigars. Or cigars.
Fireworks and cigars.
Fireworks sounds like a lot more fun. I'm not going to lie to you. Let me ask you a question, Mr. Nick Sakis. I'd like to dispel another myth in the marketing and advertising world. I come to you and you're a real estate agent. This is true of you. And you're also a marketer. So you know how this works, right? And actually, Jake, take me off spotlight because I want to watch his face, if you don't mind. I am running a lead campaign. I run my own marketing company. And my sale to you is I'm getting 50 cents. I'm getting leads at 50 cents a pop or $1 a pop. What say you? What say you?
I'll relate this back to food again. How good do you think Burger King's chicken nuggets are for you when you can get 10 nuggets for $1? What's the quality of those nuggets?
I'm guessing by the tone of your voice, they're crap.
Yeah, not really good, right?
All right.
Wait,
so then
McDonald's chicken nuggets are not good for me?
Yeah.
Depends on if the missus is making them for you, right? If
So
Serenity
there is, and I've subscribed to this before, but the number's gotten so astronomical that it makes it tough, right? You hear the volume. It's all about the volume. It's all about the numbers game, right? So if I can generate 500 leads a month, I'm going to get a closing, right? The problem is that number sounds good and it sounds okay. I'll tell you from back again, I've been advertising with Facebook since 2011 for my personal business. 2013 is when I started doing it for other people. 2017 is when I officially incorporated and became a marketing company and really started doing it for people. Essentially, it started off, you could generate 50 to 60 leads and get one really good lead back then.
Right.
2018, that 60 to 70 turned into 80 or 90. As the years progress, now in 2022, if you're playing the volume game and you really want to go for those $1 leads, you have to be somewhere in the ballpark of 300 to 350 leads in order for somebody to trip into your funnel. And what I mean by that is the automated sequence, drip sequence, AI chatbot, whatever, for them to raise their hand through a survey funnel or whatever, for you to then have communication with them, right? So I'm not saying it doesn't work, but if you don't have that system in place, you think about it in terms of multiplication, right? 350 leads. If you have to contact each lead 7 to 9 times before they even respond, 7 to 9 times 350. I don't know what that is off the top of my head.
It's about 3,200.
It's a shitload. Yeah. Nobody's doing that, right? When you're at that level,
2,450.
When you're at that level of lead generation, you have a company like ours. You have an inside sales team who's pounding the phones, and that's all they're doing all day long. You have a system in place for that to happen, right? Because there is something to that volume. But for the average agent that's chasing that, 5-cent McDonald's nugget, it's not good for you.
Well,
Right.
Gene, this is where I go back to retargeting and remarketing. Immediately when I'm doing an audit on a company, I ask them if they have any retargeting strategy at all whatsoever in play. And if so, what is it? And if they don't, I already know that they're missing out on possibly 20 to 50% future growth of their company. And they don't even know it. It's like this unrealized opportunity. So when these touch points like Nick is talking about, the 7 to 9 times, your automated remarketing strategy after you drive awareness, like even if you're purchasing advertising for Facebook, Nick, right? Like you're talking about, getting them back to my own personal ecosystem. Now all of a sudden we have to focus on what activities we're doing to get them to that conversion, whether that's entering their information, becoming a customer of ours, and an automated opportunity is that paid remarketing strategy, retargeting, or emails that go out to people if they did convert, right? So, or drips and things like that. I want to go back to this. I think you guys are both absolutely right. I see people leveraging technology once they get there and get educated on it, but then they hide behind it. You only want to use technology to a certain point, and as fast as you can go ahead and get off and get kinetic with on the phone, talking to people door to door and belly to belly, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Straight
secret
up.
agent syndrome, right?
Yeah.
Because think about your marketplace, right? There, how many real estate CRM companies are there? A dozen?
80 billion.
Well, there's a dozen top ones, right?
Yeah.
You, if you look at like in the Tampa Bay marketplace, okay, I would say Follow Up Boss, Lion Desk, KV Core, Boomtown, probably those 4 to 5 are probably Chime's probably the most recent one. So if there's 100,000 agents in my marketplace, and I know that probably 70% of them have one of these 5 CRMs, and out of those people, we're all running the same ad. We're all dropping them to the same CRM with the same drip sequence. That's the reason why the 50-cent lead doesn't work. It's not because the ad doesn't work to get them into your bucket, but that lead, again, what's valuable for the lead? That lead is clicking on something that's they want to know information about, and they can't delineate whose ad they actually clicked on, which is why 9 times out of 10, if you get to the 5th or 6th or 7th phone call with these people and they actually pick up and you say, hey, you clicked on my Facebook ad, I wanted to follow up with you, or whatever the fuck you say, they go, who are you? I have
didn't
no
click
idea who you
anything.
are. I didn't click anything because you haven't developed a personal brand. You don't have a unique selling proposition, and they're just clicking 25 different realtor ads because they happen to be in a frenzy looking for a home. That's why we're talking about personal brand, unique selling proposition. That's the only way to get any fish to jump in your boat, unless you have a company and $2,500 plus a month in support staff to actually sift through all these leads and serve them up to you.
And let's say this too. This is part of the challenge in what we do, is that you're trying to get people to come to you. And unfortunately, the reason why Zillow reigns supreme in a lot of cases in a lot of areas is because they're serving up their ads to people where they are, right? So in other words, you have somebody running around on Facebook that might not really be thinking about looking for a house yet, and you're trying to catch them with your bait to have them follow you down a funnel, then to give your information after 8 minutes of tracking down videos and watching what your long tail and your short tail stories are. The reason why Zillow works so well is because people go like this. I have to look for a house, and then they go there, and that's where you're at, right? So like there's the challenge behind this is that we got to catch, like you said, we got to catch them, right? We have to put the right bait in the water. You have to be patient. You got to wait there. Then you got to have the right tools to be able to reel them in, right? Like it's not, there's an art to that, right? Whereas if you're already where they're coming to because they need what it is that's there, there's a better return rate on that, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And
I love
again,
this. I love this, guys. Nick, you went in just it's probably in Sarge's black book of business plans that he said when I was building Clever Leads. All of those other CRMs and all these people are doing the exact same thing. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. So we need to get clever, and we need to go ahead and come in with different angles of attack.
Oh, I see what you did there. Okay.
Yeah. You see it?
I saw it. Yeah.
Yeah. So I like the Zillow model, and that's why we did the Freedom Move USA the way that we did, with a call center set up. Real estate agents can basically, the call to action is find the certified agent in your area that can call us at the call center and enter your information. So we're reaching out saying, hello, Mr. Smith, how you doing today? We see that you're planning on making a move. How soon are you doing it? Where are you moving to and from? That's great. We're going to get you connected to some of our agents in the area that can come out, evaluate your home transaction, and find out how much you can save on your next upcoming move. There's no obligation here, but expect a phone call from this person. We're also going to send you a nice courtesy email, let you know what's going on.
See what you did there? You just
Good.
solidified my point. You said, we see that you're ready to make a move. You're on our site because you're ready to make a move. Not, hey, don't you think you might want to move? If you do, follow this rabbit hole.
But it's so part of that unique selling proposition, if it's that good, and I heard this from Alex Hormozy, who's like the beast of all beasts for marketing. If you haven't followed him, go check out his YouTube channel. The guy's insane. He runs like $100 million company. He talks about this principle of, if all your customers were gone and you only had one customer left, and the only way you could acquire new customers is you had to provide such a high level of service to that customer or product that they would tell all their friends about it, that's what you do.
Yep.
So when you think about, we're not tricking people. We're giving them so much that they would be so stupid to not take it, and or they would feel empowered when they're at a party to tell their friends, you got to talk to Gene because he's got this amazing thing. Why? Not because you're interested in that person's well-being. They're your friend, but it makes you look good. It makes you look good because you referred your friend to Gene, and Gene's got a fucking all-star USP.
Yep.
That's marketing. That's the virality. And if you can nail that, it's lights out.
That's what we always do. That's what we, in every industry, ladies and gentlemen. I've been marketing in many different industries for many years, since the mid 2000s. What is that unique selling proposition? What does it make? Why are you different? Why should I choose you? Why should I purchase your product? And then once you have that, do all of your employees know that? Do you have that unique selling proposition everywhere, on all of your material, on your website, in your tagline, on the low bars, on your emails, on your business cards? Do all of your employees know what to go ahead and tell prospective customers? What makes you guys different? Are they saying that? Is it on your, like, that's the scenario in many different industries, and that's what Nick's talking about.
I'm stumped right now because I literally just had an experience like that, and it's so escaping me right now. But just what you just said, that's such a unique thought process of, like, think about if you only had one client left, right? And you need that person to run and scream from the mountaintops. Like, that's such a thought process that takes really some, it's almost like your elevator pitch, right? Like, what's your elevator pitch? And most people go, what would you have to do if you only had one person left on the earth that knew about your service, but you needed them to tell that's my back's in a corner. And I can't think of what it was.
Well, here, listen to this, Gene, while you collect your thought.
Yeah.
We here at the Marketing Roundtable know a gentleman by the name of Chris Manka. Chris is a licensed real estate agent out of Central Florida, right? He's been on the show a couple times. He's writing a book called Relationship Equity, like how important these relationships are and what that means to you and your business and the things that he's done. However, he went ahead and teamed up with Freedom Move USA. He started to tell all the neighbors inside of his community what was going on. Down here in Florida, there's a lot of people that have been converting, right? Coming to Florida. So this is a newer community. He built a new construction home. So you've got all of these people there that are just moving from Jersey, moving from New York, moving from California, moving from places in the Midwest. So they all have their own story about how they ended up coming down here to Florida. And Chris now is saying, hey, if you have any friends or family, have them come talk to me. I can help them. And he talks about the MOVE program. That went viral. Everybody's talking to other people about possibly moving. Think about the conversations, right? So if somebody moved to Florida, now they're calling back all of their friends and family that still live back in the States where they moved from. And they're all saying, hey, Jen, Jake, Johnny, how do you like Florida? How's it going? Oh, it's great. Well, I'm thinking about moving down there too. Or my friend that I just talked to is thinking about moving. Well, if you do, you should call Chris, because if you are planning on moving down here, he can help you save $10,000 to $25,000 on your move. That goes a long way. Oh, that's awesome. Oh my God. This thing went viral so much so just organically that he's sitting with 37 people right now, 37 different families that he's working with. And he's like straight up calling for help. He's calling rando real estate agents in his local territory saying, hey, can you guys help me out? Can you help me out? Can you help me out? I need to build a little bit of a team here because it's just snowballing. Just like that. Proven strategy, proven example to go ahead and get this thing rocking and rolling. So I had an agent, guys, out of the Phoenix area. He went ahead and typed up a really nice letter, okay, about his incentives at his real estate business to include our moving program. He wrapped it around some nice Christmas candles, laid it on the doorsteps before Christmas to all of his folks saying, have a blessed and Merry Christmas. If you know anybody, these are the things that I can do. Please pass them along my phone number. He picked up 4 listings off the Christmas candle run. People were calling saying, are you serious? You guys can do this? Yes. Great. Getting ready. We're going to sell our home in February. We're going to sell during spring break. We're getting ready to sell after the kids are out of school.
Gene, do you remember what you were going to say?
I don't, though. I just remember it really being, it was so powerful. I don't remember it, but I remember it being like, my wife was like, all right, dude, I get it. You really enjoyed the process. One of them that I know I can remember is, you ever hear a spoonful of comfort?
Mm-mm.
It's like one of these male, my wife helped somebody with something. I forget, maybe help them with their shots during COVID or something, or maybe flu season. I forget what it was, but whoever this woman was so appreciative. She sent this box, a spoonful of comfort, and it was like chicken soup, a customized label, some chocolate chip cookies. And I was like, just so different. Like, I was like, this is, and it was really good too. Like, the food was good. The layout was great. There was a letter in it. Like, and I've been telling everybody since, like, if you're going to do something nice for people, we had an agent partner of ours that had some surgery done. And one of my assistants was like, what do we do? I said, send them a spoonful of comfort. Like, for me, it was like, wow, this is so different and so cool. That was one of them. That's not what I was thinking about, but that was definitely one. It was a unique selling proposition from their perspective. I had never seen that before. I enjoyed the hell out of it. And I just thought it was such a great, thought process from the person that wanted to put something into our worlds. I thought it was great.
You guys know what a kegerator is?
Yeah, of course.
All right. So you guys are beer drinkers. All of you beer drinkers that are listening to me.
We're going over time talking about kegerators now.
I know we'll close this out, but it was brilliant. One of my agents, he said, these gifts that real estate professionals give to their people after a transaction, they're kind of corny. And he says, I love my kegerator. So here's what this dude does. He literally buys a refrigerator, drills a hole, throws in the stuff, goes down to the beer spot, picks up a quarter barrel, throws it inside, and gives it as a gift to the guys. Here, put it in the garage. So what happens, right? The homeowner hanging out with friends, inviting people over, they're pouring pitchers of beer off the kegerator. Everybody says, oh man, that's awesome. I wish I had one. Yeah, my real estate agent went ahead and got me this. He's a cool dude. And it just caught on fire. The amount of business that he was able to pick up, because everybody was like congregating around the kegerator in the shop, and that kind of thing. It went a long way. So think about these little things in your strategy for business that can make a big difference. And, I
hope he made a customized handle with his information on it.
Probably did. And he also puts like his magnet on there or something like that. You know what I mean? He's really improvising, but what a cool thought, cool concept. It goes a long way. So, Nick, yesterday we had a skit from Holderness Family Vlogs, and we still have that loaded here. So for all of you guys that are still watching, I want to go ahead and end the show with a little skit. One of my favorite places to go ahead and view YouTube is Holderness Family Vlogs, and they did a funny skit about what it feels like to be a realtor right now in 2022. You think we should show everybody that?
Yeah, it's pretty good.
All right, here we go. Gene, you're going to love this.
Hey, you. Hey, Kim. Can you believe it? It's been almost a year since I've seen you.
Has it?
Yeah, we didn't want to bid $10,000 over asking for a house we hadn't even had a chance to see. So we thought we'd give it a year and let the market cool off.
Cool off?
I figured a year later we'd have a better chance of getting something that, I don't know, we could see in person. Call me crazy.
You're crazy.
What? It's the wild, wild west out there, man. Well, you must be raking in a lot of sales. Hold on. Hello? But we offered $100,000 over asking. Is everything okay? It's my buyers. They can't catch a break. First timers, huh? Why are you laughing? First time home buyers. You're hilarious. I mean, I'm sure they're eager to get a house too. You actually think there are starter homes in this market? Are there not? You're cute. How about this? Whoa. That's a shed. Yup. Next to a dumpster. Yep. At an interstate rest area. Nice, huh? This went for $150,000 over asking, and they waived the inspection, so we're not even sure if this thing has a floor. Well, it sounds like your buyers dodged a bullet there. Are you kidding? They're devastated. This is the 86th house they've bid on. This is a real problem. I know. Who is buying all of these places? Oh, a pocket listing. A pocket what? People want to sell their house, but they want it to be a secret. So they don't tell people it's for sale. No, and it'll just sell. It's magic. And it's gone, of course. Let me get this straight. You just think happy thoughts and your house sells. Basically. So why did you want to meet? Well, we're looking for a house with a basement, you know, to give the kids a place to hang out. What about this one? Are you going to show me? No, just tell me fast. Do you want it? Where is it? Kim, you can't be so indecisive. Do you want it or not? You haven't shown me a picture or told me anything about it. How can I make a decision? And it's gone. We really can't drag our feet like that. Basements are so hard to find around here. You know what? Let's check in a few months and maybe things will be different. Yeah, I'm sure the prices will just magically drop and we'll have a ton of options for you. I mean, in a few months, I'm sure the market will correct itself. Sure. Okay, great. You want to grab a drink? Coffee? Stronger. Kilo? More. Got some absinthe that I got in college and I've been saving it for. It sounds like you need it. Hey friends, I know we did a video like this last year about the crazy real estate prices. I thought it would correct. No. If you are looking for a house right now, bless you. Bless you, because you know the people, what they are offering, like puppies and boats, and it is crazy out there, you guys. I'm thinking of you. We are staying here. Shout out to realtors who are probably losing their mind right now, and to people looking for normal priced houses. Who is buying the houses? Who is actually buying the houses? What? And do we think like it'll correct, right? It'll go down, right? It'll go back down, right? No? It's my buyers. They can't catch a break.
Shout out to realtors in 2022.
Is she really an agent?
No, they're vloggers.
No, I know who they are, but that seemed like that clip at the end. It seemed like she was really talking from an agent's perspective.
She could probably be a hell of an agent if she isn't. That would be.
I like where she's at the end. She's like, "Who's buying these houses?" I said the same thing yesterday about the pickup truck market. Who's buying an $85,000 pickup truck? Where did that come from? Right?
Yeah.
Like
crazy.
Yep, it is crazy.
All right, let me hold on before you run this out. Let's do a Nick, is that thing that you're running for your birthday a public thing? Can we put it out there? Yeah,
it's on my profile.
All right, so go to Nick's profile. Explain what it is. It's a GoFundMe for your nephew. Explain it real quick.
Yeah, my nephew's going to be a junior. His high school is Pinellas Park High School. They're looking for some funding. They need help with I don't want to say underprivileged, but it's definitely not a well-funded school, so to speak. So there's a lot of kids on the football team that don't even have cleats. They need some new uniforms, new pads and stuff. So we're actively trying to raise $10,000 for the season starting in August. Obviously, the sooner the better. But I posted a GoFundMe on my account. $20 helps, like anything helps. You know, we're going to shoot for the $10,000 because that's really what they need for travel expenses and everything behind the scenes. But there are a lot of good kids on the team. My nephew being one of them. So I'm just trying to help as much as I can.
Support our youth. We send a lot of money to different places of the world, ladies and gentlemen. Support our youth. They are our future. And absolutely, I'll go ahead and promote that as well. And we'll share some money over there to the football team. You tell the boys to go ahead and cheers and charge hard for me. All right.
Thank you.
So, absolutely. Gene, Nick, thank you for joining us at the Roundtable. Ladies and gentlemen, if you like this show and you think the information that we bring to you is valuable, please share this with some of your friends. Hit the like button. We do this for you, and we're out here on the front line. So Leave us some comments, hit the subscribe button and the bell and all the rest of that fancy stuff. You know what to do on YouTube so that you guys are tuned in. So, gentlemen, have a blessed rest of your day. And to each and every single one of you that's watching, cheers and charge hard to you. Keep going. You got this. You can do it.